Well, AFC Wimbledon head coach Mark Robinson, first of all I think we should touch upon the support we had on Saturday down at Fratton Park. Tremendous down there, over 900 supporters, and they really responded to the team, didn't they?
Yeah, no, well, they were fantastic, and it's not the numbers that they always travel in great numbers. It was the energy really, and I know it's a two-way thing. And the fans will feed off the players, and likewise. But from the word go, there was just great energy from them, and that helped the players. And obviously, the players were bitterly disappointed that we couldn't send them home with at least a point. So, but no, the energy from them was fantastic, and the response I've heard, has been really positive because they saw the players give everything, which is what they need to do. And I just want them to realise, that their response was positive, but there's things that I see that I'm still not happy with. It was better, the energy was much, much better, but there's still things that have cost us coming away with at least a point, and and they're things that we got to address. But it's hard to explain. But they're not things that players are doing on purpose. They're things that are a little bit naive. That unfortunately, I keep saying the same thing, but they do take a little bit of time to come. Things that where we're probably doing it 7 out of 10 times, and we need to do it 10 out of 10 times. That it's just those little things that. And Saturday it cost us for the second goal. And I just want the fans to realise, we thrash these things out. I know I come across very calm, but I thrash these things out with the players. We thrashed it out today and said that they can't happen. But no, the energy from the fans was fantastic, and we can't ask for any more than that. And we've got to make sure that we're thriving, not just to put the performances in, but also, bring the points that need to come as well.
Well, just to touch upon what you were saying about Saturday there, I mean, we're really not that far away. It wasn't so much a mood of disappointment, it was more sort of frustration, I suppose, on the way back on Saturday, wasn't it?
It is, and it's small margins. Winning games of football is tough, and when you get in that flow, it feels easier. But getting to that resilient stage where you can grind out a point and 3 points is tough, and we're just coming up slightly short. But as you can see, it was small margins. Pompey have moved into 9th position, unbeaten in 7th. I don't think anyone watching that game would go, we're miles away from them. I don't think you could say we were away from them at all. We had possibly the clearer chances, and we had a big portion of the game. So the margins are tiny, but we've got to make sure we not keep talking about this. We've got to make sure we get these tiny things that I see, these bits of detail. We've got to stop them happening, and then the points will start to flow.
Absolutely. I mean, and the hard work as well. I mean, it continued on the way back on Saturday evening, and as you said, you've touched upon it again today during your analysis on a Monday, yeah?
Yeah, and that's. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you can't. This is why it's so important that you have this alignment from everyone, from the club to the fans to play, because you can't become knee-jerk. That's when things do start to go wrong. You become knee-jerk and you panic and you think there's loads wrong when there isn't. And it'll be the same when we win. When we win, I won't be going everything's cured and that's it. It's just constant. It's constant work. It's constant looking processes of what you do, how you train. And I said to the lads today, we work on these elite behaviours that they have to take control of. And I said, it was so evident on Saturday. I said, I'm trying to get a message across to you down there at Fratton Park. It took me 2 minutes to get one message to Tans. I said, and this is why you need to take control, because I can't get those messages across quick enough, no matter how loud I'm shouting. There's someone who's there if they're over at the other side of the pitch. So, and again, these things take time, and it was only a couple of things on Saturday, but unfortunately one of them undone us with 4 minutes to go. And these are the things that as I said, we've got to make it intrinsic. It can't be extrinsic coming from me. It has to be intrinsic behaviours that they see through every single game.
But also, I mean, the fact that people care and that they want to put things right. I think there's a perception sometimes that people don't work on Sundays. You work Sunday, and there's discussions you have with players that have gone on during Sunday to put things right, isn't there?
Yeah, but that's my job. I've done that ever since I worked at the football club. It's my job. I don't. That's what I do. If you work in football, that's what you do. So it's irrelevant how much we work. It's about just, I think, people understanding what we're trying to achieve. The work is just part and parcel of your job. That never goes away. It's just more of everyone understanding what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it. And all I can say is on Saturday, they felt that understanding, which makes everyone leave positive. The boys were crestfallen, as you saw, that they've not come away with at least a point. But at the same time, you know, they so felt that the fans were with them, and that just builds over time. And it's always going to be down to us to put in those performances where the fans can see that. But it just helps. You know, it just helps what we're trying to do right now. And I know some people will go, oh, you can't keep playing the young card, and there will become a point when you can't. But right here, right now, we are work in process. But I know once it turns, because of all the stuff we do, that it will just flow along naturally. You know, you don't need to be barking and shouting, it needs to come from them, and that's where we're working towards, and that's where we will get to.
And we're still relatively at the start of things with this new stadium we've got at the moment, but we're already seeing a hint of what great nights we could have at this stadium to come.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, yet again, the fans can play another really important role, in, as they have been, Shane, getting behind the team.
Yeah, definitely, because you know, I know the lads are driven. We don't have anyone in the building that doesn't care. You know, that's the absolute key. But there may be, there's going to be a little bit of nerves going into the game because our points total has dipped. Everyone knows that. You can't hide from that fact. So again, the fans will have their part to play, and we'll have a massive part to play in keeping them going. You know, so as I said, there's nothing more powerful than everyone in something together. And that's all we're asking really. I'm not asking for them to clap us off when we've been poor. I'd never ask that. And as I said in my last interview, if someone doesn't work, I'll get to them before the fans ever get the chance to get to them. But it is just us building for the future, knowing what we're up against, and I still believe. And I look at it and I think a lot of it was the expectancy levels went high, and I want that. You know, I don't want to sit here doing interviews with you talking about budgets and injuries, because that just brings people down, and that's not healthy. The other way, don't want an excuse culture. I want a culture where everyone wants high expectancy levels of us. You know, that's how it needs to be, because that's what elite cultures have. And at the same time, I guess all I'm saying is just a little bit of empathy there when you see that they've given everything, but possibly the result hasn't turned out you like, and that's what we got on Saturday, and more so, and that's all we can ever ask for.
Also with tomorrow night as well, I mean, I'm sure Crewe will travel in numbers as well. They'll bring their band of followers as well. But
yeah.
Three sides of that ground under the lights, you know, get behind the team, really positive atmosphere, and help, you know, give these young lads the confidence to play. Yeah,
definitely. And as I said, the majority that's happened. So I don't want to make too big a thing of it. I think, you know, I think it was probably, as I said, the fans thought, oh, this year we're not fighting relegation, and because we had such a fantastic start, bright start. And then there was probably that, but it's done with, it's done. The club have aligned everyone, I think, in terms of what we want to achieve, and now it's up to us to get on the pitch and do it and get everyone excited, and I'm fully confident we do that. The fans will be backing us every inch of the way.
Absolutely. Looking at the opposition, of course, tomorrow night, Crewe, I mean, they come to us, you know, bottom of the table at the moment, 5 points adrift as well, but they beat the team that is just below us, just outside the relegation zone, on Saturday, so there is a threat there from them, isn't there?
There's a threat from everyone. The margins are tiny. You know, you look at that. You look at the amount of teams who are on 22 points. You know, you win a couple of games, and we got 1 or 2 games in hand, and all of a sudden you're up in 10th, 9th. So, you know, there's still 29 games to go, or 29 games to go. So anyone can take points off of anyone. So you can't take anyone lightly. We just know we have to be at our very, very best, and what we do know is that if we're at our very best, then we have a chance against anyone, whether they're top of the league or bottom of the league, and that's what we need to aim for.
I was just looking at your board out there in terms of the players available for tomorrow night. Darius Charles is on the injured list as well, is he now?
Yeah, I need to check with Darius. He was out doing a bit today, so he just has, you know, some problems with his hip, Darius, but I just need to check. But apart from Darius, no, there's nothing new from Saturday. Henry's back now, so Henry's back from his illness. I just need to check how he was. We didn't do loads this morning, but I'd like to think Henry will be back in the squad. He seemed a lot better. And yeah, we had some good news. Shea Alexander has been in the building today, so he doesn't seem to think the time frame's going to be quite 6 to 8 weeks, which is positive. And as we said, we had the news that Will possibly will be before Christmas. So, you know, we get these performances high and we can start picking up points, and then we get more bodies coming back in, and it means we can look forward to an exciting new year.
And also you said about how long you could perhaps give George Marshall on Saturday. Encourage you going to try and build him up a little bit in terms of time as well now?
Yeah, well, you know, we've got Saturday, Tuesday, so there'd be minutes out there for George, and I was really pleased when he came on. I thought he'd give us fresh impetus, which made their second goal even more frustrating because I thought they brought their 3 subs on quite early, or 2 of them quite early, which shows that we were the dominant force. He made his changes quite quickly to try and give them some impetus, and I thought after 5-6 minutes it did. And then we brought ours on, and I thought it shifted again. I thought if anyone was going to get the winner, it was us, and that's what made their winning goal more disappointing, because I thought George and Chiz and Praise actually did lift it, but there was a little moment we switched off that we've had to sort out this morning.
I think we've got to talk about as well again Paul Lossu, because I mean you got him into the side to do a job, in the absence of Henry, and then the response, showed how much he cared in his post-match interview as well. He put in a shift, didn't he, on Saturday?
And Rob, this is the perfect example of, I don't know if I'm coming across clear enough in this interview, but this is the perfect example. Paul come into the side, everyone loved Paul Sue, he's got a Paul Sue song. Young man, gone from, a level where he was playing to first team level. But then challenges come your way as a young person, different challenges come your way. He's no longer some Paul Sue that no one knows, he's now Paul Sue that's a threat. Teams look out for him, and there's different challenges, and that's when these players need support. I'm not some holistic guru, but I do know how to coach and develop players and get the best out of them. And I think you've seen that in Anthony Artigan, and you've seen that in other and senior players. Woody's openly said to me he thinks he's playing the best football of his career. So they're human beings fundamentally, and Paul Sue hasn't become a bad player overnight. But there are things that go on in a young player's mind and challenges they have in you, and our job as coaches is to build them up and get them back there. And Paul can be such a threat, such a threat, but so much of this game is up here, and obviously a lot in the air as well, but it's so much up there, and these players will come good again. Definitely come good again. I was talking about a young player that we had here, who is now playing semi-pro, apparently doing very, very well. He's 24 years of age, and that's the age your brain hasn't even formed till then. So I'm not being over-realistic about it, but these lads, there's so much that goes on, as well as loads of nonsense and noise that you get in football that you have to deal with as well. And it's my job to bring all that together and get them aligned and push them on again. And I'm absolutely have faith that Paul will kick on again, and I think he showed glimpses of that on Saturday.
Absolutely. Also, of course, the night before the game against Portsmouth down at Dartford, you went to the FA Youth Cup game. It's great that your former assistant, who's taken on the role there now, James Oliver Pearce, took us through that game, and then Saturday morning got the reward from the whole group there to get through to a regional final in the Youth Alliance. It's a tremendous achievement for all of them.
They did, and it was, some people raise their eyebrows playing 2 games in less than 24 hours, but that was part and parcel of life. You used to play Saturday, Sundays, Tuesdays for the school, etc. So I'm not saying it's something that was ideal actually, because I suffered from that injury-wise. So it's not, but now and again it doesn't matter, and it builds robustness, it builds resilience, and I was chuffed to see that they come back from the performance against Charlton, because they know first half they were nowhere near good enough, and second half they were. And the academy's job is to produce players for the first team, and a big part of that is I know they've got ability. I watch them regularly, but it's that robustness, it's that resilience, it's that mental strength, it's the communication, all these skills that erode a little bit through modern life. And it's no fault of these young people as well. Everyone walks around now moaning kids don't talk anymore because of phones, but it's not their fault, and it's our job to help give them the skills by the things that we do. So but fundamentally that is the academy's job, is to produce players for the first team. So it's great that they're winning football matches, but I also want to look out there and go, who's the next one who's going to have half a chance to get in our first team. So and then going and doing that Saturday and showing that resilience to go again after losing 2-0 and feeling down was a massive plus.